There are so many videos out there about spiritual awakening. There's videos like 7 signs you're spiritually awake, or 5 symptoms of awakening, or 3 stages of awakening you need to know. And they're all cool and they're all fine, but nobody's really answering the bigger question. Like, what actually happens after you wake up? What's going on in your head, in your heart, in your life, your relationships? That's what I want to unpack with you today. And I've been digging into what philosophers, psychologists, and spiritual teachers are saying in 2025, not just the YouTube gurus, but people doing deep work on this, deep research. The first thing is awakening isn't the finish line. It is the doorway. Psychologists describe it kind of as a shock to the system. Like suddenly you just see life differently. But it doesn't mean you get to live happily ever after. It's more like you've just walked into a bigger room and now you have to figure out how to live in it. And for some people, that awakening moment, it feels like a sudden burst of clarity, and that maybe happened during a meditation or maybe right in the middle of an ordinary day. And when it happens, the real question isn't the feeling itself. The real question is, okay, now what do I do with this now? Here's the kicker. A lot of people struggle after awakening. You struggle because you lose old frameworks. Your old beliefs, you've had to get rid of them. They're no longer serve you at all. The identity you had sometimes, it's just gone. It doesn't work anymore. Some folks even spiral into depression or confusion. Psychologists call this a spiritual emergency. And it's not that the awakening is fake or is really, really bad or anything. It's just that your system has to now rebuild around it. Think about someone who has a big awakening and suddenly their job feels meaningless or their marriage feels fake. That crash, that sense of nothing fits anymore, that's not failure or anything. That's just the rebuilding. That's the new rebuilding phase. It's the new beginning you're going to go through. Philosophers like James Hillman would say awakening isn't just about you feeling good. It's about reconnecting with what he called the soul of the world, nature, myth, community, even mystery. If you wake up but it's still all about you, then you have totally missed the point, my friend. You might notice this in yourself if you suddenly feel drawn to art, to poetry, or even just sitting under a tree and sensing that it has something to teach you. Stuff like that is not random. That's soul-level shift happening. Different traditions also frame awakening differently. In Islam, it's about humility and service. And in Buddhism, it's compassion. Indigenous traditions see it as reconnecting with land and ancestors. And it's not about chasing bliss states. It's about responsibility to something bigger than yourself. So, in Buddhism, this might look like dedicating your life to compassion practices and meditation. In indigenous traditions, it might mean tending to the land or honoring ancestors in daily rituals. Different cultures, same core truth. Awakening calls you into responsibility. And get this, it's not just monks and mystics. Even scientists and academics report spontaneous awakenings. People in labs, people who don't even believe in God, they say their values have changed, their sense of purpose shifted. It shows awakening is just human, not tied to one religion. It's all about the human. There's a neuroscientist who talked about an awakening moment that completely reorientated her career. Instead of studying only the mechanics of the brain, she devoted herself to studying consciousness itself. That's how the big shift can be. Psychology today says that awakening moments, what Zen calls kensho, are real, but they don't guarantee permanent peace. You have to integrate it with daily practices, with self-inquiry, with grounding. Otherwise, you bounce back into old patterns. It's kind of like going to the gym one time. You feel that rush, that high, maybe even see a little change. But if you don't keep training, your body goes back to the baseline. Awakening works the same way. Without daily practice, the clarity fades. And it's not just personal. Research on transpersonal psychology shows awakening actually helps communities. When people wake up, they naturally want unity. They have compassion, cohesion. You stop seeing yourself as separate, so you start acting different in society. That's why you'll see people who wake up and they start volunteering or launching community projects or even just softening in how they treat their neighbors. Awakening isn't just an inner state, it ripples outwards into how you live with others. Finally, awakening can lead to a more stable kind of happiness, but not because life's suddenly easy. It's because your sense of self expands. You're not just the ego anymore. You feel part of something larger, and that shift, that's where the peace comes from. That's why you'll see people smiling even when life throws challenges their way. It's not fake positivity. It's that they're trapped, they've tapped into a bigger foundation to stand on. Something deeper than the ups and the downs of everyday life. So, what do you actually do after awakening? You don't chase more signs. You don't try to stay in the high. You integrate. You let it reshape your life. So if you're in it, if you're awake or waking up, know this. It's not a checklist of signs. It's not an instant ticket to paradise. It's a process. It's a rewiring. It's a whole new way of being human. And the real work starts after the awakening moment. Don't get stuck chasing the experience. Start living it, integrate it, and let it change how you love, how you serve, and how you show up in the world. Because honestly, that's what makes awakening real. Not the moment it hits you, but it's the life you live after it. If you like this video, I hope that you subscribe, hit the subscribe bell, and leave a comment. Also, I wrote a book about spiritual awakening. It's called Wake the Hell Up. The link is in my bio. Thank you so much for listening. Please like and share, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.